New England Gardening here. Today's Tuesday, August 14th, and believe it or not, these are the cuttings that I started back in March, and this is the progress you can expect with one summer's growth. So we still have some time, and you can see here the ones that I potted up. I think those are 1 gallon pots, a little bit larger. And they're really in their environment now. Here in New England, we've got this hot, humid weather going on for a good stretch of time, and they're really taking off. So they're really enjoying this. They're in their environment in this weather. So I still have a bunch that I didn't transfer because I had a couple of failures when I went to transfer them from the cup, so I held off. I wanted to make sure they had some nice, strong roots. But they're getting so big now I can't keep up with the watering, so it's really time to transfer them. And I'd like to get them, a month or a little bit over a month of time in a gallon pot, so they could get some stronger roots or spread out into some new soil and be prepared to go dormant for next spring. Now it's hard to believe that these guys started off as cuttings, but this is what these guys started off as, just sticks. Just like this, and with a little time and effort and some luck, I guess, you end up with some fig trees just like this. So this is what you can expect for the amount of growth for a season, at least here in New England. For those of you who are in warmer climates, you get a lot more progress. But yeah, these started off as sticks just like this. And it's just, it's a nice journey to watch them go from something like this, and with some effort, to here. And then in a couple of years, you get to sample some figs, or in this case, this one's putting out a fig the first year. So let's start potting these plants and giving them some room to grow. Now I just watered these yesterday, and some of them are still damp and some are starting to dry out more than others. But I was wondering what a good strategy might be, whether these will come out of the pots easier if they're wet or if they're dry. Because the roots do have, even though it's plastic, the roots still are able to stick to the plastic. So that's why I was holding off on these. I'm hoping that the roots are a lot stronger and not as brittle as they are or were about a month ago. So we'll see. So I'm starting with this Santa Cruz Dark. You can see the roots here. And I'm going to try the strategy of just soaking this. So I just soak this, and there's just no way to transfer this without disturbing the roots. And you just want to try to minimize that. So it's amazing how they stick to the plastic. So I'm just going to try to squeeze this cup a little bit and see if I can get these roots to separate from the plastic here. I think I'm going to soak it again too. I'll just give it another soaking. So I'm really soaking this here. Working the cup around. Looks like it's separating, so this might be the way to go, is soaking it, hydrating these roots. I expect some damage, but I'm just trying to minimize it. Minimize the shock. Okay, let's see if we can get this out of here. I like to put the stem here between my fingers, kind of hold on to it here. Oh yeah, that's coming out nice. Oh, that was good. I like that. So I'm going to really hydrate these and really soak them and work the cup like that. because I hardly did any damage. There's very couple of roots on the cup here, but that went a lot better than I thought it was going to. So let me get this. I'm not even going to break these roots up. I don't want to do that on this. I'm just going to stick it into more soil in a larger pot. So I just put some bark here. It's more for keeping the soil from coming out of the holes and for drainage. I'm going to fill this up with soil. Put some perlite in here, kind of a light mix. Back that down a little bit. I want to plant this so it's the same level that it's used to being at, grew up in. That looks good. Give that a good soaking. Even though I did minimum damage to the roots there, I'm not going to keep it in direct sunlight. I'll have it on the other side of the polycarbonate panel there, so it can ease into its new home there. So 1 down and 15 to go. And make sure you put some type of marker or label on it. You want to keep track of the variety. So I'll get back to you when I finish the rest. Okay, I'm not finished, but I wanted to show you why I think I'm going to keep my cuttings in the cups from now on, pretty much throughout the summer, and then switch over in the middle of August. This is very long, and I just have, well, you can't see them as good, but with the dirt on it, I'll have this side here. Look at these roots. These roots are just great. Let me wash them off a little bit. So see those extensive roots there? And it pretty much stayed intact in this clump. So, you know, if you try to transfer them really early on, they're easy to break. And you have more of a chance of having that cutting fail from the stress of the transfer. So I'm pretty confident I won't lose any of these at this stage of the game. The root mass is so extensive and so strong, and I'm really minimizing the stress on this plant during this transfer process. So I think this is the way I'm going to go from now on. Could change, but right now this is looking real good to me. So I got them all potted up. Took over an hour, but I'm happy with the results. I'm glad I waited. They had really good strong roots, and I was able to successfully get them out of the cups with minimum root damage. and they won't need as much watering or as often, because they've got a lot more soil now to deal with. And hopefully in a month, I think we've got over a month, they'll be able to spread out into those new pots and get some more roots and probably a lot more growth, and have enough energy to carry them through to next spring. Two of them I put in, I think these are 2-gallon pots. They were in those orange flower pots and pretty much root bound, so I put them in the larger pot. So this year I did some things differently. I kept the cuttings in the cups as long as possible. I did have some initial failures, so I decided to keep them in the cups to see if they could stay in there a lot longer and develop some stronger root growth with the soil that was in the cups. And it worked out. They had some really good strong roots, and I made sure I hydrated the cups with water, and I gently squeezed them to ease the roots off of the sides of the plastic, and they came out with minimum damage. And so I got them transferred. They're on to a nice strong start. Hopefully got a month, maybe 2 months of still some growing time where they can expand the roots into this soil. So this is great. I mean, for something that started off as a stick, I've got all these new varieties that I can see if I can successfully grow and fruit in New England, and see if I can sample these figs. So this is New England gardening, and these are this year's fig cuttings. I'm going to need a bigger shed.